In a world where alliances are constantly shifting, there's one partnership that's quietly becoming a massive deal. It's a relationship that goes so much deeper than the headlines, and today we're going to unpack why the bond between India and France is one you absolutely need to understand. So when you think about India and France, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it's this one powerful image. Yup, the Rafale, those sleek, powerful fighter jets that have really become the symbol of this whole modern partnership. Okay, but here's the thing. What if I told you those jets, they're just the shiny tip of a massive strategic iceberg? We got to dive deeper, because the real story here is about decades of trust and a partnership that is, no joke, reshaping the world. All right, so to really get what's going on, we have to rewind the clock. Let's go back to this one foundational moment that basically changed everything. So yeah, they established relations way back in '47, but the real starting point for what we see today, that's 1998. That's when they upgraded to a strategic partnership. And look, this wasn't just some diplomatic jargon. This was the moment they created this political umbrella that has protected and nurtured every single major deal since. So this big strategic bet they made, it's really built on three powerful interconnected pillars. We're talking power, prosperity, and the planet. Let's break down what each of these actually means. First up, let's talk about power, because let's be honest, the defense cooperation, it's the hard power spine of this whole thing. It's the most visible part, and for good reason. And you gotta understand, this isn't just India going on a shopping spree for military hardware. No way. This is about building a really smart, multi-layered deterrent. You've got the Rafale jets dominating the skies. Then you have the new Rafale marine jets for India's aircraft carriers. And deep under the waves, the Scorpene submarines, which, by the way, are a huge deal because they show real technology sharing under Project 75. And all that amazing hardware? This is where it gets put to the test. Exercise Varuna. Think of it as the crucible, where naval forces learn to fight as one seamless team. Seriously, this isn't just a practice run. It's about building that critical muscle memory they need for joint operations, especially in the really contested waters of the Indo-Pacific. All right, moving on to that second pillar, prosperity. And this number right here, $15.1 billion, that's the bilateral goods trade in just the last financial year. A pretty significant number. But it's not just about one big number. Look at this chart. See that clear upward trend? What's really interesting here is the momentum. I mean, even a global pandemic couldn't really knock this off course. That tells you a lot about just how strong the underlying economic ties are. So where's all that French investment actually going? Well, it's a really interesting mix. The services sector is the biggest piece of the pie, sure, but look closer. You see these strategic bets in critical areas like air transport, no big surprise there, right? But also in the foundations of the economy like energy and heavy industry. This shows they're in it for the long haul, building real industrial partnerships. Okay, but this partnership is so much more than just defense deals and trade figures. It actually goes way beyond that, into the world of high technology. We're talking about collaboration on some of the most advanced projects on and off the planet. And this is where that third pillar, the one for the planet, really shines. These joint satellite missions, they're way more than just cool science experiments. Think of them as their shared eyes in the sky. They're providing crucial data to monitor our changing climate, to predict those vital monsoons, and to keep the massive Indo-Pacific region secure. It's science with a very clear strategic purpose. But here's what I think makes this relationship so incredibly resilient. It's not just about governments and big corporations. It's about people. It's built on a human fabric. Now, I know, social security agreement sounds a little dry, right? But trust me, for anyone who's ever worked abroad, this is a total game changer. It basically means that professionals moving between India and France don't get hit twice, paying into two social security systems. It's one of those practical things that makes a huge difference in people's actual lives. And then there's this. This agreement is all about building human bridges. It's designed to literally supercharge the flow of talent and ideas back and forth. It creates this two-way street for students and professionals to live, work, and learn in each other's countries. Super important. So, where does it all go from here? What's next on the agenda? Well, both countries have laid out a really clear, super ambitious plan for the future. It's called Horizon 2047, And look, this is way more than just another government document. It's a statement of intent. It's a roadmap that says, hey, we're not just looking back at what we've done, we're co-creating the future together, all the way to the 100th anniversary of India's independence. And this roadmap basically points to leveling up the relationship in three key areas. First, moving from just buying stuff to actually co-developing and building it together. Second, using their joint science to create integrated climate and security services for the region. And third, making that human connection even stronger through more mobility and skills corridors. So when you pull it all together, what's the big takeaway? Well, this is a partnership that's as deep as it is wide, right? It spans everything from the ocean floor to outer space. It's a relationship that feels like it was built for the complex, uncertain world we're living in. And that leaves us with this final, critical question to think about. As India and France build this partnership for the next century, what's going to be their most powerful asset? The shared weapons? The shared wealth? Or is it going to be something deeper? Shared values?